Okay. Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about a hypervibe. These are the whole body vibration machines that are touted to be effective ways to age well, increase muscle, get your exercising done in smaller time frames, and stay flexible. All of which are true. No denying any of that at all. But my reason for bringing it up is I don't think people really are aware of the things that you can do with these machines, because in my opinion they're not really featured very well in the many videos that are out there about them. Okay, they're basically a vibrating plate. You stand on the vibrating plate, and if you get the vibrations up to 18 cycles a second, as the Russian cosmonauts discovered, or higher, then you're actually exercising inside a gravity well, or gravity bubble that is going to exercise your muscles far better than you could under normal conditions, simply because it's as though you're exercising in multiple Earth's gravities. So every movement causes that much more exertion and release as you do the motions. But the real critical benefit for these is that you're moving these muscles at a faster rate than you could ever achieve in the contractions and release under any other under most other circumstances. Somebody like speed skaters or high-end Olympic athlete kind of things, or professional athletes, may indeed be able to move their muscles that way. But because the plates, the way these things are built, the gravity machines, the plates vibrate you, and all your muscles are getting this effect, not just the key ones in running or whatever, right? So at the same time that you're getting, when you're on one of these machines, that you're getting exercise for your calves and the big muscles in your thighs, all the small muscles all the way down through into your toes are also getting exercised. And so it's a different experience. Having been an exerciser all of my life, I can tell you that I've been feeling muscles I never even knew existed, simply because of using this consistently for the last few months as part of this cancer recovery business. Longevity as a factor in cancer recovery is linked directly to daily exercise. I like exercising anyway, and I thought to use this. I've had it for a couple of years, as I've said in another video. And the cancer took away my ability to use it. Now I'm getting beyond all of that, and I'm back into the device. And I've discovered some just amazing things about it. One of the things about it is that the exercises that people show in videos, especially from the manufacturers, don't do them justice, right? Because they basically have you just turn it on and stand on it, and you get shaken around, but they're not showing you how to maximize the impact and to know basically what you're doing. Now, anybody with an athletic sense about their body would soon discover that you can move into places where the vibration goes up through different muscle groups. And so you become aware that, oh yes, my core is being vibrated as well at maybe 60% of the rate of my thighs, because the hips and the knees are taking up the vibration and dampening it to some extent. If I stand upright, now my core is vibrating a great deal more, as you can probably tell from my speech, and you get the idea that the vibrations are at least up as high as the diaphragm and the lower abdomen, which is, I can actually feel compressive. But I can also shift around and do other forms of maneuvering, and you just don't see anyone talk about this in the commercials for these kind of machines. And some of the things that are great is to do like Mi Kung exercises, so I can get the inside of my thighs by a particular angle of bend here, and I'm at 19 hertz, so 19 cycles per second, which is pretty effective. That's 4.2 Earth gravities that I'm moving in at this moment, and I can feel it just bouncing around, sort of doing a walk motion here. It transmits up from each thigh, goes up in through the core, and reaches up into the chest muscles as I'm doing this. You can also do exercises like crow yoga pose, where you put your hands on the plate and mount your knees up on your arms. get a whole body exercise that way. Now there's contraindications. If you've got heart conditions, you don't want to be doing this. If you've had deep vein thrombosis, you don't want to be doing this. Anything where you've had joint replacements that are going to be impacted, like in your knees and so on, you don't want to be doing this because you're getting a very intense level of vibration on your muscles throughout this whole period of time. And it's so intense that the machine is calibrated to kick off after 10 minutes. Just because you shouldn't do it longer than that for your own safety. It's not going to be good for the muscles. Plus there's this half hour to 45 minute after period where your muscles are still going to be contracting and releasing and slowly releasing that aspect of it, and they will gradually stop, but it has to be accounted for. So 10 minutes on the machine, and the body might take a half an hour to recover. Now, the more you use the machine, the longer you can stay on it because the body becomes hardened to it. It's just the hormesis. Little doses of something can build up a tolerance to it. So something that might kill you if you did it all at once, like the very first time if you jumped on one of these and cranked it up past 18 hertz and used it for an hour and a half, it may well kill you. But if you stretch it out at 10 minutes at a time and harden up to it, no worries. Anyway, so this is my commercial for these things, suggesting that instead of just standing on them and using some of the movements that you see in some of the other videos, that you should try things like Ni Kung and yoga on them. You can do other exercises with weights, holding those in specific positions, and as you move the weight around, you'll see that it starts stressing different muscle groups, and thus you can concentrate on those muscle groups that are more key to what you're after at that particular point. So there's all different kinds of things that can be done in terms of motion here. Frequently, I'll also stand on the machine and interact with the heavy bag because it's like trying to punch through and that extra weight through. It's not like water or anything, but you actually do feel it in the muscles as you're doing punches while standing on the plates. I guess that's about it. So short and sweet. If you need to exercise, especially if you're going to try and recover from any sizable cancer issue, and you want to make sure you're getting the exercise throughout your entire body, and I don't know of any other machine that will do it, then these are the route to go. If you're going to buy one of these things, they need to be solid enough that they're going to last, and they need to be able to go over 18 cycles a second, also known as 18 hertz. You need to get beyond that in order to get this particular kind of a critical measure that causes the muscles to go into this type of training effect that, in terms of regular athletics. So you actually get a training effect. And those of you who've exercised will know what I'm talking about, where you get the muscles more oxygenated and there's more damage. Now you also need to be advised that initially you're probably going to want to do 1 day on, 1 day off, up to 4 days a week, that kind of a thing, just to allow your body time to recover, because all these small muscles are going to need to rebuild. So I think the first time I got back on this machine after having gone through the cancer surgery, it was probably 4 days later I attempted it again. And for those 4 days, I actually had that feeling of muscles going, ow, 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 when you move around a lot. So I knew it was working. All these little small muscles that I didn't feel until that point were popping off. So this is my unpaid commercial, just because it pisses me off that people aren't, in my opinion, selling these things right, because they do a lot more than just bounce you around, and you can address any muscle group you want by simply adjusting yourself and doing, as I say, get some books on Ni Kung so that you can get some of the internal horse stances, and you'll get incredible inner thigh workouts. Just standing there. You can stand there. I was actually standing here on the machine watching the Three Dweebs, which is a group that hopes to rise up to the level of the Three Stooges at some point in their career, I'm quite certain. This would be Ben, Rob, and Jordan Sather doing their little thing, and decided, okay, I needed to make this little commercial. And that's it. So hopefully the Hypervibe people won't be too pissed off at me, but all the other manufacturers as well. You know, if it gets over 18 hertz and it'll last a while, it's going to be a good investment in your physical conditioning if you use the bastard. That's the thing. All of this stuff is good, but only if it's being worn out. Only if you're just using it to the point where it's wearing out. I've used this machine to the point, I got it in 2012, I've used this machine to the point where I had to replace the motherboard, which turned out to be all of maybe a half an hour's dinking around. A few screws, and it was no big deal at all. And the technical support could not have been better, by the way, for that. Once, you know, they sent me instructions, manuals, there's crap online, they were there with phone calls, all of which I didn't need, but I appreciated that they were willing to go to the effort. So anyway, as I say, that's my commercial for Hypervibe. Take it as you choose, not being paid for it, and have a good day.